Life can get hectic when you start a family, but Which can help you make confident decisions from improving your home to financial planning. We'll make sure you're prepared. Whether you're looking to reduce your household bills, seeking advice around your child's health, or want to find our best buys for your new home, Which has got you covered. Use our expert advice to make the right choices for you and your growing family by visiting which.co.uk/growing family. That's where you'll find everything you need to make confident decisions and have peace of mind that all the advice you're getting is 100% independent. So to find out more, just head to which.co.uk/growing family. Hello and welcome to the Which Shorts podcast. I'm James Rowe. This is the podcast that brings you the very best from Which with a weekly taster of some of the brilliant journalism you can expect from your suite of magazines. This week we're looking at meet and greet airport parking services. In the September edition of the Which Travel magazine, Guy Hobbs went undercover to test out the service provided by meet and greet parking services across the country and was shocked by what he saw. Here's his piece, adapted for the podcast, read by Guy himself.
We get a lot of complaints about meet and greet airport parking. But even we were shocked when a driver employed by one company stole close to £5 from our car. When we used Quick Park, a recommended off-site service at Heathrow Airport via Deals for Parking, £4.50 in loose change was stolen from the centre console and the cubbyhole behind the gear stick. This may not be a fortune, but its theft is testament to the contemptuous attitude of many airport meet and greet parking firms that operate with apparent impunity out of the UK's biggest airports. Nor was this one rogue operator, as we found out when we fitted trackers to 3 cars and handed over our keys to some of the most complained about companies. We soon clocked Quick Park, true to its name, razzing our Range Rover down the A4 at nearly 70 miles an hour in a 50 zone, which, if caught by a traffic camera, carries a maximum penalty of up to 6 penalty points or temporary disqualification. It then took our vehicle to what the website described as a patrolled car park with CCTV and, crucially, Park Mark accreditation, which should mean that the site has passed a police risk assessment. In reality, our GPS tracker showed the car ditched in the back garden of an abandoned rectory 5 miles from Heathrow. The British Parking Authority, or the BPA, confirmed that this was not a registered Park Mark site. When we called for the car to be returned to the airport, we faced an anxious wait of 1 hour and 20 minutes and numerous unanswered follow-up calls. Eventually a surly driver arrived and dismissively tossed us the keys, without even asking for ID. After all this, the discovery that our money had been nicked was the icing on the cake. Petty theft, it seems, is common. All 3 of the cars we tracked had cash stolen from them. In one, the driver gobbled an entire packet of sweets, while in another they'd taken a slug from a sealed bottle of water before returning it to the driver's door. But there have also been reports of more serious crime. Heathrow Police told us that it received 300 allegations related to meet and greet services in the last 2 years, some of which involved the theft of the vehicle itself. Last year, a fraudster operating at Manchester Airport was jailed for leaving hundreds of cars in a farmer's field and on residential streets. When we asked Which members to tell us about the issues they'd had with meet and greet services, we were horrified by the response. A shocking 1 in 7 told us that the company caused significant damage to their car, while others missed flights or had to ride around in an expensive taxi hunting down their own car. In January, Margaret Smith paid £172 to Car Parking Heathrow to store her car for a month. It was delivered to her at Heathrow with a smashed windscreen. Not just a chip, the car was undrivable. So Margaret, with husband and toddler in tow, had no choice but to book into a hotel for the night and arrange for a full replacement, setting her back £250. The driver offered little sympathy. He told Margaret the company would take no responsibility and that the damage would be covered by her own insurance. She was told the same when she rang up to complain. Car Parking Heathrow ignored our requests for an explanation. The BPA told us that relatively few providers have appropriate insurance to operate a meet and greet service, and that most rogue traders are completely uninsured. That's why they'll tell you to claim on your own insurance, which in reality is likely to be very difficult. One of the companies we road tested at Heathrow, Mayfair Parking, even states in its T's and C's that while your vehicle is parked with us, you must rely on your own vehicle insurance policy. This lack of insurance isn't ideal, given that we caught Mayfair speeding on 4 separate occasions during the 10-mile round trip from Terminal 5. Nor would anyone want their car left uninsured in the dodgy sites we tracked our vehicles to. Off-site provider Gatwick Airport Parking Spaces Limited promised a fenced and gated car park when we booked online. Instead, our vehicle was taken to a patch of industrial wasteland behind a petrol station, before being returned to us caked in mud both inside and out. Mayfair Parking was the only service that did take our car to a Parkmark accredited site with CCTV, as promised on its website. Nevertheless, when we visited, we were able to drive straight in and wander around unchecked. The gates didn't look like they'd ever been closed, and the car park was at the end of a dirt track with rubbish piled up at the sides. Neither Mayfair Parking nor Gatwick Airport Parking Spaces responded to our request for comment. The BPA told us it takes all allegations of lower than expected standards extremely seriously and will be reviewing the site immediately. If you're thinking, why on earth would anyone book with these cowboys? You're underestimating the scale, audacity and sophistication of these scams. Searching for airport parking brings an overwhelming selection of results. Companies choose intentionally generic names like Quick Park at Heathrow, making it harder to find relevant reviews, or names that sound similar to the official airport scheme, such as Gatwick Airport Parking Spaces, in order to confuse customers. Some also operate under multiple monikers, and as soon as one name attracts bad reviews, they drop it. More worryingly, they're often the most prominent option when you search for airport car parking. 2 of the 3 firms we investigated appeared on the first page of Google when we searched for meet and greet services, and all 3 appeared on comparison websites. But these comparison sites are part of the problem. While well-known sites such as Holiday Extras and Sky Park Secure offer a useful and legitimate service with big providers, many others provide a platform for rogues. In some cases, the comparison site and parking provider could be one and the same. When we searched for Heathrow Parking with the Deals for Parking comparison site, it gave us 7 different providers to choose from. All of them displayed a suspicious customer rating of 4.9 out of 5 stars. But none of the companies appear to exist independently of Deals for Parking. Just 2 of the options, Quick Park and Greg Morris, are listed on Companies House, and both recently incorporated firms share a company director, the same director who resigned last year from Falcon Parking Limited, the trading name of, you guessed it, Deals for Parking. Why would rogue traders hide behind a comparison site? Perhaps to absolve themselves of any responsibility when things go wrong. Deals for Parking's T's and C's state Deals for Parking offers the parking services as a reservation agent. Hence, all liabilities regarding the vehicle's parking lie with the parking service operator. Deals for Parking and Quick Park did not respond to our request for comment. The airports themselves feel powerless to stop these rogue traders. Gatwick told us, legally these firms can operate on the airport as long as they do not break our bylaws. Mike Smucker, Crime Prevention Officer at Heathrow Police, told us that while local police forces do carry out operations against individual companies, they're hamstrung by a lack of regulation that allows companies to very quickly emerge and then disappear. He also advised that if you're a victim of a meet and greet rogue, you should always report allegations of crime to the police. Those looking for off-site airport parking, said Smucker, should ask which company the car will be given to and whether it operates under any other names. They should not be tempted just to go for the cheapest operator. And most importantly, they should always look at customer reviews. That's where we come in. We asked over 3,000 Which members and members of the public to tell us about their recent experiences of parking both on and off-site at major UK airports, so we can tell you who to park with and who to avoid. It may not surprise you that off-site car parks are almost always cheaper than on-site equivalents, but the good news is that in many cases the decent ones offer a better experience. Off-site providers took the top spot at Birmingham, Gatwick, Heathrow, Leeds Bradford and Manchester airports. The best car park provider overall, and a Which recommended provider, was Sentinel, with an impressive customer score of 93%. Sadly, it's only available at Leeds Bradford, but it's cheaper than the official long stay car parking, and customers love the free tea and coffee on arrival, and its comprehensive "if you don't park, you don't pay" refund policy. But for a meet and greet service specifically, APH with 79% overall and I Love Meet and Greet with 74% were the best rated WRPs, between them serving most of the UK's biggest airports. Both use Parkmark accredited sites and offer 4-star rated security and customer service.
Guy Hobbs was reading his own piece, originally published in the September edition of the Which Travel magazine. To read it in full, then be sure to become a Which Travel member. I'll pop a link in the show notes for you to find out more. We'll be back next week for another episode of Which Shorts, but don't forget about Which Money Shorts on the Which Money podcast feed. Every fortnight, we bring to life pieces from the Money magazine to give you some of the best advice to make the most of your hard-earned cash. Just search Which Money wherever you're listening. Which Shorts was produced and edited by me, James Rowe, while the exec producer was Grace Farrell.